to just to highlight that yes, the whole imposter syndrome thing is definitely going to be there for those black males, yeah, because you haven't really got much people in these industries to kind of attach yourself to. Not that you really need to attach yourself to anyone, but you know, there's no one like-minded than someone who's like you. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole point. So you know, and you don't really see that. And like-minded people kind of just bonds together. Me and you, Jermaine, we know that quite well because you know we are two like-minded people who bonded in an institution in the past.
Yeah.
And that became very lucrative for us in the past, many years ago. We don't need to go into that, but yeah. So that was then, and that the whole point of that was that you know the bond. Now, if you go into these new institutions and there's no one like that, you're kind of on the back foot, maybe just a little bit. You know, either trying to impress or whatever else. You know, just kind of prove yourself that you know, hey, I'm a good guy here. You know, and you know, I've got a lot to offer to this firm. So you kind of find yourself on the trying to impress. And you try to impress extra because you think that you're fraudulent in your own head because you don't meet the criteria as those around you. So you always wearing your two coats, put on your work coat, and then when you're there, your mentality is that you know you're trying to adapt with these people that's around you. And if you are trying to adapt with these people around you, you are going to have maybe that aspect of imposter syndrome, and that you know that you have to kind of keep a lid on that because that can drive you into depression. You know, not bringing your whole self to work. There was a big campaign about that by Mental Health UK. The campaign was pretty much in a nutshell, you know, bring your whole self to work, basically. You know. So that you're not having to put on these layers just to go onto work and put on an image and feel like you're an imposter if you don't have to carry this image rather than just bringing yourself. Yeah, you know, that's a lot of extra stress for you. And there's the catch to that. You know, if you are going through ruminations of imposter syndrome, you might feel a bit of an imposter to say that it's stressing you out. So you convince yourself that, you know, all is okay, I'm all right, when in fact it's all stressing you out. But you actually even feel like a bit of an imposter to say, oh, actually, I might need a little bit of help with this because, you know, I've tried this, I've tried that. It's not quite working out. I know it might be in my head a little bit. And yeah, it is in your head a little bit, but that's because of real things that are there. You know, the fact that, you know, there is no one in your firm that is like you, really and truly. And you do find yourself losing yourself or losing your way if you're not, you know, strong-willed. You know what I mean? And then there is that indifference because if you were, especially as a male as well, and I'll say a heterosexual male, because I feel like heterosexual males have a tougher time in getting away with having a bad day. Do you know what I mean? If you have a bad day as a heterosexual male, you have to kind of put a lid on it. And that's where the imposter syndrome comes in. You can't even reveal that you're having a bad day like you normally would, because you know you don't want to be maybe coming across too aggressive, coming across a bit too negative, rather than the fact that you're just having a bad day, like everybody does.
That's black man issue all over, bro.
Yeah,
black man can't speak up too much or voice distress because then you're just deemed to have a bad attitude, bro.
There we go. Yeah. So you know, these aspects play their part and wave their ugly head, and I've decided to wave the flag as being a protagonist then, in kind of, not wiping these things under the carpet, but breaking down these layers and saying that, Rob, well, you know, if Blonde Sally can say it, then so can Black Roger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, it's true.
So yeah. So yeah. And it's there. It's relevant to kind of speak on. People should look up imposter syndrome themselves. Sometimes it's just as basic to kind of read back something. It's like, oh, this may well apply to me, and then you can kind of look to yourself. Because one thing about imposter syndrome is you have to kind of admit it to yourself. That's the first step, and say, oh, right, I actually feel like an imposter in this role, when in fact I'm not, because I've got the accolades. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing my role. I'm doing it well. Do you know what I mean? Them can't tell me nothing. Do you know what I mean? And I'm good. When in fact, the chances are they don't want to tell you nothing. They are happy with you. So you need to acknowledge the fact that, you're in a role for a firm. They're happy with what you're doing. And then embrace that happiness. Don't always be on guard for them to not be happy with what you say. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being naive. You do get those people. You get the subliminal racist, the indirect racist. Do you know what I mean? Who's always on your toes because they feel like they have to question you because they have to question you, when in fact, other people on your level were not questioned doing similar things. I've seen that around. I mean, I'm an old boy in the firm, so this doesn't really affect me. And, I think even me being a dreadlocks man as well, people are extremely cautious about how they come at me.
Yeah.
And with that extreme caution, I just embrace it and I just treat everybody normally. Do you know what I mean? I'm not extremely over pally, but I'm very jovial. I can, deal and relate with people. And I don't have to be over pally and all of that. I'm not going to, go for drinks and sleep on your couch in the morning and all of that. That's not me. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So, all them kind of thing there. So, and the social gatherings and all of that. But, and because of the capacity that I'm in as well, I do have to be a little bit twice removed so that I'm non-biased to anything. So I'm never too pally with anyone, but I'm that go-to person who everybody can go to and maybe have a conversation about something, which is personal to them. And it's easy for them to do that because, as you can see, I'm a very much down-to-earth creature. And, you can literally talk to me about anything. Like I was saying in the last session, I feel like I'm trying my best to kind of encourage heterosexual black males to talk more, because they're pretty much the least people to talk. You know what I mean? They're the least people to talk. One thing I like about the women is that, once they've got a safe place to talk, they will be talking. And they will be, getting it off their chest and saying what they need to say, looking for that help. Do you know what I mean? So we just need to get the men on board to kind of do that as well. But I understand that a lot of us, regardless of what walk of life you originally come from, it just seemed like a black thing where we got this trajectory of manata. Yeah. But, therapy is a whole different thing because, we are bound to confidentiality. And, some people do need therapy because they're going on with things in their head that they haven't shared with anyone to kind of say, oh, well, look at it this way. Because the way how you're looking at it might not be right at all. But because that's what that's what you got in your head and you're not sharing, or you're not even researching it. You've just kind of stuck with that in your head without any share or research, and that's just it. Whereas, you'll be jumping on Google and researching the most stupidest thing, but yet things that are really going on in your head, you're not researching that, and that's that same denial, that same imposter syndrome. You can be on imposter syndrome with yourself.
Yeah.
You feel like, there might be a mental issue there that you need to kind of keep a lid on, but you feel an imposter to admit that.
Exactly.
That you might need a bit of help, or whatever. You feel like an imposter. Do I need that degree of help? And it's two tiers, because you feel like an imposter, you don't need that degree of help, and then there's the other side where you say, well, I don't need to be sectioned either. And it's like, whoa, who's telling you about section? That's a whole different tier of mental illness. We're not even talking about that level of mental illness. And so people just jump from hair to hair when we talk about mental illness.
Yeah.
And that can pose as a problem. Everybody needs to tap in and keep a lid of their mental illness and do something and have their relief. I said release, not relief. Some people feel like, just to get their stress out, they're just gonna, fuck it away. Sometimes that don't work either. Sometimes you just need to unpack what's going on inside, rather than coping mechanism. I'm not saying fucking away is a negative coping mechanism. Yeah, that relief is good. Do your relief, but just be aware that some things you can't just use a physical coping mechanism to not think about it, because then that is just putting it under the carpet. You need to unpack. Unpack. Yeah, can't be on holiday the whole time. Need to unpack. Yeah, and for these few words, I give thanks. But yeah, man, interesting conversation. I really enjoyed some of your questions, mate. It kind of surprised me because even though we kind of talk about everything, you haven't really kind of questioned that with me before. So, the ins and outs of the statistics of people in the workplace.
It's always interests me because like I said, it's just me and my phone and CNBC and all the due diligence I do, but I don't really think about the institutional side of things. What's going on in these offices and who's in these offices, and so
it's a whole different realm. So those people doing trading online and all of that, you have to understand that you are in a gifted place where you can kind of do that right now. And it is on the back of all these fintech people. You wouldn't have the software to do that, regardless of what you're using, whether it be Coinbase or whatever else you're using. You can tell I'm getting a little funding indirectly, innit? So whatever you're using, there's people in the background who are the fintech people who are putting that software together so that you can use that software to make money. So it's just a case of who are those people, and are those people like you? And I'm testimony sat here. Some of them are not particularly many, but some of them are.
Exactly. Well, fam, enough respect for your time. Like, I really, really appreciate this. I don't even know if some of this is applicable to the people I have on this channel. They may be here just looking for certain stock picks or whatnot, but I like to try and cover a lot of different things as well. Do you know what I mean? You can get stock picks and buy this, sell that on X amount of channels on YouTube. On this platform, I'm trying to bring something different. So I really appreciate your time, especially at this late hour. It's literally 5:56 in the morning.
Sorry to jump in. Now, bearing in mind that I've said all of this at this late hour, and I hear what you're saying, but they could at least just like and subscribe to your thing, and because you didn't have to pay no money for it. All you got to do is just click 2 buttons. I like
exactly.
So at least just like and subscribe, so that we can kind of grow this and continue to offer sound information, for our people, UK and internationally. This may well benefit people internationally as well, in that capacity. But this is predominantly for a particular type of people in the UK who don't really get to see the backdrop of certain things. So it's nice to kind of offer that. And like what you said earlier, you're getting a lot of people because these fintech offerings are there. People are jumping into trading and dabbling and all that sort of thing. So it's nice to kind of get some of the history and some of the backbone of what it's all about. And yeah, man, just stay safe.
Most definitely, to you and yours as well, fam.
What you would notice as well is another thing is that when you're in fintech, you get perks, but with some of the perks, there's other things. Like for an example, for a long time you guys were on furlough and all of that. Well, we're in fintech, so if anyone's going to be able to work from home or elsewhere, it's going to be us, because we just need to get online to do what we need to do.
Yeah.
So there was no furlough for us.
Working throughout.
We were somewhere. My firm's extremely big, so we've got firms all across town. So rather than our central office, they've got pick-up offices where you can, in emergencies such as the one we face, they've got a contingency. So there's all of that. So working from home, alternative offices, and but what I'm just trying to point out is that the work kept pumping and kept churning out, because there wasn't no day during lockdown where people weren't moving money online. That never stopped.
The markets don't stop. Like literally, when you got the UK and the US market open near enough all day, and as soon as they close, the Asian market opens. And
Japan, Hong Kong.
Then you got the crypto market 24/7. I'm not quite sure about Forex's hours, but there's always money to be made in the markets.
Hey, because you just mentioned that, I was going to ask, have you got Coinbase?
Yeah.
You do have Coinbase.
I do have Coinbase, but my preferred choice is crypto.com.
Okay.
I love them. They offer a debit card which gives me 2% cash back on everything that I buy, but the cash back you receive is in their cryptocurrency, in the Crow coin, and also I get free Spotify with it.
Okay.
So that works out well for me. I do have Coinbase. I mainly use that for the videos. I watch videos and I get rewarded with crypto. Well, yeah, enough respect again, fam. Like, this has been big still. And literally, anytime you want to come onto this platform and you know what I mean, talk, it's open to you anytime, bro.
Say no more, my brother. I know and I respect that, man. I'll be right back tomorrow. Take it easy, yeah?
Yeah. You as well, fam.
All right. Bless.
Bless up.
Yeah, man.
Bless.